Welcome back to the MVP show. Mons is back in the house. I probably had my best show hosting last week without him here, which was interesting. But Big Daddy Mons, I'm kind of, instead of Big Daddy Shane, Big Daddy Mons. We got Shane Gillis tickets coming up in Hard Rock here, Ben. Going to be very exciting. He did a great job at the ESPYs. Just wanted to shout out Shane Gillis. Love to have you on the show someday. Mons, how we feeling today?
Feel great. How does it feel to have anti-Semitism next to you again?
Oh God, we didn't need to say that live. But, the people love it. Ben made a joke last week while you were gone.
You kept it going for me.
I had to, man.
Nice.
I thought.
Do you remember what it was?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Guys,
No way you remember.
I do. You were asking about the if you were to make it like a special for the Super Bowl, or what was it for? You asked them about their question for if what was the one thing you would change or be able to make more tickets be sold? And I was like, oh, you just throw a bunch of pennies on the field.
Oh, the Marlins. Yeah. That was funny. We got some more clips coming there.
I love that. Good stuff.
But want to bring in our very special guest, Thomas from TP3 Bets. Welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, appreciate you guys having me on. Excited to be here, and can't wait to talk about some sports betting and football.
Hell yeah, bro. Good to catch up again. So first up, I asked this last week. What is the name TP3 TP3 Bets? Hopefully I'm saying it right.
Yeah, so it's my initials, then I'm the third. So that's how I got TP3 and then Bets. So I started out doing a podcast at first called Hot Takes with TP3. Then, I did some more thinking about my marketing, and I was like, what do people think Hot Takes with TP3 is? So then I changed it to TP3 Bets from that. I wanted to be as obvious as possible what I was all about. Yeah,
I was thinking CP3 Chris Paul, so I don't know if that's what you were going for there.
No, I'm actually anti-Chris Paul guy. So James Harden's my favorite NBA player of all time, and he completely fucked him on that Rockets playoff run. So I'm like a very anti-Chris Paul guy, and he's actually I swear he's cursed, man. He's never going to win a ring.
Yeah, Scott Foster, I think, really does it for him in the playoffs.
He just resigned, though, right? Speaking of Chris Paul?
He's on the Clippers. Yeah, the Clippers can have the oldest lineup in the league with Brooke Lopez and a bunch of guys there. But Thomas, would love to hear, when did you actually start sports betting, and what made you pursue sports handicapping and building up your own brand?
Yeah, so to make it as short and simple as possible. So a couple years back, it's probably I guess it was 10 years ago now I guess it was 11 years ago now. So obviously, when I was younger, I would bet people on games and whatnot, and I would typically win when we were in high school and whatnot. So I was like, all right, maybe I'm decent at this. So, I got to college. A couple people since I knew I love sports, wanted to be my bookie. I was like, I'm not going to start betting on sports yet. Then the Super Bowl rolled around, and it was when the Patriots played the Seahawks. So I was like, all right, there's no way that the Patriots are going to lose the Seahawks. So of course I bet on them. I won. And then, from there, it's just kind of you're addicted. And then obviously, you loved it because you won money. And then, I went through the ups and downs of sports betting, would go on and off, on and off, on and off. And then finally I was for the upcoming football season, it was about 10 years ago now, I was like, all right, I'm going to really learn how to bet on sports because I was like, I'm just so tired of losing. And if I know this much about sports, I should be able to win. I had an up and down football season. Then really it was the NBA. So I grew up playing basketball. So it's that NBA season, the year that the Raptors won, I really just got down pat all the things I needed to do to win betting, and I had an unbelievable year, won 60 units. And then from there, I started, I'd been posting all my plays on Twitter and whatnot. And then I started making reels. And then from there, I just went into building a following. And then, I was like, I need to stop giving all this out for free and make some money for myself on it. So that's basically how it happened.
Gotcha. Thomas, thanks for sharing that. In terms of your, obviously you've been doing this for a while here. What would you say are your top 3 tips overall for sports bettors, whether it be new bettors or people who have been, betting for a while but have been losing money for a while consistently?
Yeah, the first tip I would give is that not all sports are the same. You think that there's some system you can use in every single sport that you're going to win, but that just simply doesn't work. Every single sport is its different sport in and of itself. So I think that you got to treat each sport differently and situations differently. So I think that's the first thing. And then the second one, I always say this whenever people ask, and it might sound really stupid on the surface level, but you need to know how much, how good each team is. like, while it sounds dumb, you don't want to find yourself betting on the Titans every single week in the NFL and then end up getting the first overall pick.
Sorry, I bet on the Titans. I think more than people should over the last couple of years.
Very
That's why
much
Matt's
so.
laughing.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Big Titans fan.
Oh yeah, so it's actually hilarious. So the first like 3 weeks of the season, I bet on them. I was like, oh, they're for sure gonna win here, and they kept fucking me. And I was like, all right, they suck. Like I was like, I'm never betting on them again. And I bet against the Commanders like the first 3 weeks, and I won obviously in week 1. And I got cooked the next 2 weeks, and then like I realized I didn't touch their game the next week. Then I was like, all right, they're actually good. I'm gonna start betting on them instead of against them. So it's like things like that, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to find yourself being like me and you, where we're betting on the Titans the first 3 weeks of the season. They have the number 1 overall pick. We're probably not going to cash a single one of those.
Yeah.
So I said that one's huge, and then the last one I would say is don't be afraid, like to be different than everybody else. Like, no, there's a reason why Vegas is in business. It's not because everybody wins. It's because they're taking other people's money. So, like, if you're just gonna bet what everyone else thinks about these teams, you gotta not be scared of looking stupid. And I think that's like the biggest key. As long as you're not scared of looking stupid, you will win money.
So Thomas, what does that mean for you? Does that mean like fade the public in your eyes? How do you view that statement?
Yeah, like if there's a team, like obviously we all know, for example, like the Eagles were the best team in the NFL last year. If you think a line's too big on them, don't be that person who sits there and says, "Oh, well, everybody thinks the Eagles are so much better than them. I'm an idiot if I bet them." Do it. You know what I mean? Like if you think a team is better than another team and not everybody else is on them, you can't be afraid to be wrong and take that team. You got to be willing to do it, but you got to put your balls on the table.
Yeah, I like that there. Speaking of different sports and stuff, Thomas, I know you're a baseball guy. How was you went to the home run derby or all-star game or what? I know you're out in Atlanta.
Yeah, so I did go to the home run derby, and I mean, it was sick, honestly, being in the house for it. Like, it's such a, like, baseball, not really that hype of an event unless it's like a football game or unless it's like a playoff game or it's like some insane, comeback win or something like that. Typically, it's not that hype, but it was sick, honestly. So seeing Cal Raleigh come out there and crank all those home runs after barely even getting in, but based off a tiebreaker into the next round. So, I mean, it was definitely one of the coolest events I've been to. And I would say it's not like the type of event you should travel and go to, but if it's in your city, you should 10 out of 10 go. So that was pretty sick. And then I actually went to the Rays and Orioles game on Sunday, which is at George Steinbrenner Field. So that's like a minor league field. So it was pretty interesting being in there. Like most stadiums are huge, like all these cool built up. It was just like a meat and bones, just like here's a stadium, you're at a game, but actually started monsooning and they had like a 3-hour rain delay, so I left in the 7th inning, which sucked. But.
What's your take of I know you mentioned it briefly that it's just kind of bare bones baseball, but I've heard, like, I'm a big baseball guy myself, and I've heard from a lot of Rays fans that they've almost kind of enjoyed it. It's been kind of nice to tone it back and to just watch the game without, like, at the Trop with the dome and, you're outside. And George Steinbrenner is one of the most gorgeous, like, AAA affiliate fields that's, or minor league fields in the game. So what was your take on it?
Yeah, I thought it was honestly like a cool baseball atmosphere. It's like you're just at the game. Like, most other stadiums have all these crazy things they've built in the stadium, whether it's like a bar spot to go eat some food, like games for kids. Like every single stadium seems like they try to have some sort of side attraction. This one was just like, no, you're at the game. You're going to watch the baseball game. I mean, I will say this, don't go to a day game there because in that Florida sun, man, with no shade, it gets hot.
Oh, we live in South Florida, so we know. I actually saw, Matt, I don't know if you saw this, the minor league team is doing no PA announcers, no nothing, just straight baseball.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, nothing. No music, no PA.
Let the kids play.
Yeah.
Well, how was Atlanta, all things told, though, for the All-Star game and the activities? Was there like a buzz in the city? Was it fun? How much did you stay around the park?
Yeah, it was insane. So earlier on the weekend, so like probably like half a mile from the stadium, they had like the All-Star Village. I didn't end up going to that, but the buzz around the park was insane. Like 5 o'clock is packed out there like it was opening weekend. Like it usually does not get as packed as it was there, except for the playoffs or for like opening weekend. So there was a massive buzz around the park. So many fan bases, so many fans. I was actually pissed. I wanted to make a video, see how long it took me to find like a jersey for each team. But I got up there too late. I had to find my buddy that had the tickets and whatnot, so I didn't get to. But it's cool to go to. It's like typically I'm the kind of guy, when I go to a sporting event where I'm like making fun of the person who shows up to a Braves-Yankees game wearing like a Padres or like a Lakers jersey. But it's kind of cool to go to one of those to see like all the different teams' jerseys because it's technically every single team competing.
Yeah, no, I love that.
And they have an all-star from every team actually there, right?
Of course.
That's crazy to me.
I don't understand why that's so crazy.
I don't know. I feel like does the NFL and NBA do that? NBA definitely does.
Yeah, every team has an all-star.
That's just lame. I don't like that. I don't like that. Why should we have all-stars in for every single team? The Rockies don't deserve an all-star.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. Okay. Thomas, what do you think? Rockies deserve an all-star?
I thought Hunter Goodman deserved it. There's not a lot of good catchers, so I think they deserve to get one. And like when you're playing 162 games, I think you got to give like the roster something to look forward to. But like, I don't know if the NFL does it that way. I know the NBA doesn't though, because there's only 24 players, I believe, that make the
All-Star game. The NBA definitely doesn't, and the Celtics had like 3 guys last year. So no, it's interesting there. While we're on the baseball topic, we've been asking a lot of people all summer. I know you send out baseball plays. What are you looking for? What are your kind of tips and tricks for baseball? I know it's a long season, and then the end of the season, bleeds into football. And then October, there's every sport when the playoffs is on. So what do you look for when you're betting on baseball, Thomas?
Man, a lot of people I feel like just look at pitching, but I try to look at hitting because you can't win a game 0-0. So you got to be able to score some runs and get some run support. So I think that's huge. But I think the biggest thing you have to do when you bet on baseball is you got to look at, like, obviously, if you're betting on the Rockies, you're not going to win any money. If you're betting on the White Sox, if you pick your spots, maybe. But you got to look at teams on hot stretches and just ride them when they're hot. And, you got to look at each team like every 10 to 12 games as if they're a different team. Like the Dodgers, I think, have won like 2 out of like their last 15 games, 14 games right now. Like if you're betting on them every single game, you'd be losing money. I think that those two are hold true. And you got to try to shoot your shot on underdogs. Like you got to be willing to look stupid and take those underdogs and fade some of the best pitchers in baseball because their lineup's not hitting. They're not going to get any run support. Like I bet against Paul Skeens nearly every start this season. He's gotten like the 3rd least run support of any pitcher in baseball. So I think you just got to be willing to put your balls on the table in those games, and you got to be willing to take the underdogs and, try to think outside of the box a little bit.
Yeah, that's
pretty similar to what the guys last week were saying too with baseball. Baseball.
They did say the underdogs thing. Yeah,
sport.
Yeah, it's just a long season, and then it bleeds into football. But speaking of football, Thomas, before we dive into the kind of the betting and nitty gritty there, who are your NFL or college teams?
Yeah, so all my sports teams in general have fallen into poverty. So I'm an all Atlanta guy. So, I'm a Falcons fan. Sick and tired of fucking losing with them every single Sunday, I'll tell you what. And it gets even worse for football. I'm a Florida State fan. So, it's just a all-around losing culture for me right now with my sports.
Oh, you guys got a Bama, right? Week 1.
Yeah, we'll find out real fast what Florida State's made of. Look, I don't think Alabama's that good this year. I will say I took their win total under for the upcoming season, but I don't think Florida State's going to beat them. The ACC's just added too much of a talent discrepancy.
Gotcha. So for college and NFL, kind of the same question I had for baseball. What do you do that differentiates yourself from the other handicappers out there for those sports?
Yeah, for NFL, I'm obviously bet sides, but I really dive deep on props. I think their prop markets have so much value in the NFL, especially with the way the game's like kind of wired to be a little bit more offensive heavy. So I like to look a lot at props. And then I try to I'm not saying I'm going to come out and fade the public every single week, but I definitely try to think outside of the box a little bit. Like I really like looking into totals and kind of like just looking at lines all week long in the NFL and like looking at a total, for example, it's like 2 shitty offenses and it's like on a key number and it doesn't change all week. Like that's something that really just like tees me off. Like, okay, like they're trying to play like a mind trick with you to take the under here, but like the line hasn't moved all week long and everybody's just betting the under. Like obviously this game's gonna go over. So I try to look for stuff like that, but I really do like the props in the NFL. I think the props are a really nice way to like exploit the books. And then, I mean, like you see a prop line move from like, if you look at them on Tuesday when they first come out, you'll see a running back or wide receiver's yardage go up almost 10 to 15 yards, even a quarterback too. Like you don't see that kind of movement obviously in game lines unless like a quarterback's out. And then college football, I think the biggest thing, like people can say algorithms, home field, like they can spew you all the bullshit they want. But the number one thing in college sports is eye test. Like you can tell quick one team is so much better than everybody else, and you need to be betting on them. In college sports too, like just because a team's 6-0 against the spread doesn't mean you should be like scared to bet on them. If you look most of the time, Arizona State last year, they were the best. They were the best against the spread team in all of college football, and nobody was really betting on them. They were picked to finish last in the conference. TCU the year they go to the national championship, number 1 ATS team in college football. You got to find the undervalued team and jump on the bandwagon quick, and you can do that with the eye test, I think.
Wow, I love that. That was great advice for college. Um, but yeah, NFL and college we got coming up there in terms of with all of the sports going on in October. How do you handle the research for everything going on at once?
Yeah, so all right, this is pretty funny actually. Monday, there's only one game on with Monday Night Football. So what I do is I literally just sit there and look through the college football like full slate 4 to 5 times while I'm sitting there watching the game. Then I put in my notes all the games that have jumped out to me that I'm interested in like diving in more on. And then on Tuesday, I do that as well with NFL, kind of same thing. And then I rewatch a lot of the games from the weekend before that I couldn't really get eyes on. They'll have on YouTube. You can watch a game in like 15 minutes for either sport. And then usually on Wednesday on college football, I really try to like read anything I can about the game, whether it's injury report, whether it's seeing what the line's at now. I really just try to look into stuff, try to see if there's some unique situational spot or something that I'm missing. And then usually Thursday, Friday morning, I'm putting in my college football bets. And I usually try to finish all that up by 4 o'clock because for the NFL at 4 o'clock, they start to release all their injury reports that are like going to be the more official injury reports. So then I really try to dive in those injury reports and see what they're looking like. And then that's when I start to go in and bet player props, mark games down that I want to bet on. Maybe I'll go ahead and bet on a game if I think that like everything looks good. But I feel like you really got to make sure on that Friday injury report what's going on because somebody could not practice all week. They don't say they're limited in practice or say, oh, they didn't practice all week, but they're going to play in the game. So I think that's the time to like really try to get on top of stuff. And especially with player props, like I see player props move like 7 points from that Friday point value. That's usually how I do it for those. And then like college football, I can't remember the last time I actually took a bet on a Saturday. Like most of the time, if somebody's like status is really in question, you can't trust these college football injury reports worth a damn. So if somebody's status is really in question and they're super key to me, I'm just like, fuck that. I'm not even betting that game. And for NFL, like sometimes I will lock in. A lot of times I will lock in plays on Sunday. If I think it's more of a line play, like it's a really sketchy line and it's not moving, I'll wait all the way until like a couple hours before the game starts to make sure that I'm didn't like jump the gun too soon. But it's when you're juggling all those with like baseball or the NBA, it can definitely be tough. But I usually dial my volume back more in those sports when football is going on. So I'll still spend time in like the middle of the day on those sports to get picks out, but I definitely am not going to go like this crazy heavy volume. And honestly, I don't even bet on college basketball until conference play starts. I don't even want to mess around with the non-conference stuff with all the player movement stuff. I think you're just better off waiting.
Gotcha. Now, love the insight and advice there. In terms of Thomas, what does your unit system and structure look like for your clients?
Yeah, so there's a lot of people who have these bullshit unit systems where they're like all 1 through 5, or they're like 3, 4, 5. It's only a play if it's 3 units. In my opinion, if your minimum play is 3 units, then that's a 1 unit play. So to me, it's only a 1-2 unit play, and then the very rare 3 unit play will come out when like I absolutely love something. But like if it's an underdog, I'm going to bet the money line for a unit and then take the spread for 2 units. Or like if it's a favorite, I'll probably take their spread for 2 units and then take their team total for like a unit or something like that, or take them first half for a unit. So that's for me, it's always been 1, 2, 3 unit plays. And I'll probably play like maybe 3 3-unit plays the entire season.
Gotcha. What is your opinion of people that are posting like 50-unit plays and stuff?
Dude, we all know that's just for marketing. Nobody's actually, if they're saying 50-unit play, I guarantee you they're not even betting 50 units of their bankroll on the play. Like your bankroll should be based off a 100-unit system. So they're posting 50-unit play. That's just like comedy to me. And anybody who falls for that should probably rethink what they're doing.
Yeah, I saw somebody and then a meme of or repost stitch of whatever of them doing that. Oh, we're getting some echoing there. Are you hearing that, Thomas?
No, I can't hear any echoing.
I guess it's just on our end, Ben. Sometimes we got the technical difficulties. But going back to, let's dive into some bets and stories and stuff. Would love to hear, what's the craziest bet you've hit? Maybe it's a parlay or just a crazy ending. And then what's the worst beat that you've had while betting?
Ooh, the worst beat. There's so many of them that I feel like you always remember the worst beat better than the best win. So I'll start out with that one first. So worst beat, there's kind of two of them. So one of them, I bet on the Chargers in that game against the Jags when they were beating them at halftime. I think it was 28-0, and the Jags came back, or it might have been 31-3 at one point. and the Jags came all the way back and beat them on the insane ending when they went for 4th down and all that in the playoff game. So that one was really bad. And then actually Houston in the college basketball national championship. So I picked them to win my bracket pool in 2 pools, and I was in line to win over $1,000 for that. And that was also my max bet that night, was Houston plus 1.5. So, of course they led pretty much the entire game and ended up losing by 2 points. So it was just absolutely sickening. And it was sickening more so, not even from the money loss, but from the fact that I never won a bracket pool. And I was literally that close, and the guy didn't even get a shot off to end the game. Like, it was just like, it was so depressing. Like, I literally just came back and just like laid there on my bed for like 2 hours, just staring at the ceiling, just so frustrated.
Yeah, no, I remember that national championship like it was yesterday, and it was really, really disheartening because I was all over, what's it called? Houston. I was all over them, and I needed them also, with some side business. And I was watching at a South Florida bar, and it was just it's also like, it's one of those bars that it's like a fake club almost. So they're pumping the smoke, and they have confetti cannons going off everywhere. So I'm just sitting there drowning in piss as confetti's falling all over me, and people are like throwing drinks in the fucking air, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I hope you're happy with your $25 bet you just won, bud. Like, congrats.
Yeah, no, that was 100%. There was like 20 people in the bracket pool that had Florida. So trust me, I've been there with you a million times. It's the fucking worst. That game was insane, but definitely the best win I ever had. I wouldn't even say it was a parlay. So it was actually the first time like I really started heavy on TikTok. And so it was the Commanders were playing the Vikings, and it was one of those games, and I talk about the line game, where it was like the Vikings, it was that season when they were undefeated with Kirk Cousins. I think they made it all the way to like 8 or 9-0. And the line all week long was 3.5 at just this dog shit Commanders team. And so I was sitting there looking at it all week long. I was like, this is the biggest like red flag trap line I've ever seen in my entire career. So I ended up putting out my game of the year on the Commanders, and I didn't have many clients then. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to make this the free play video. I put it out, went to bed that night, woke up in the morning, and somehow like the Minnesota Vikings entire fan base found the video, and I was just getting destroyed. How stupid I was. Yeah, the video was at like 50K views. And then the Commanders ended up losing by 3. We covered by 0.5 point. And then I was just going crazy on the comments. And it was even funnier though, because there was people who like didn't understand what a point spread was. And so they were like talking shit back to me. They're like, we won. You're so fucking stupid. Can you even read the score? I'm like, buddy, you didn't cover the spread. Who cares if you won?
Good teams win. Great teams cover, baby.
Yeah, that's what it's all about here. But Thomas, in terms of, this upcoming season and whatnot, what should people look forward to you regarding your content? I know you said you were on Twitter as well, or X, TikTok and Instagram and all of that. What should people look forward to? Like a weekly segment? Like, what are you going to be doing content-wise?
Yeah, so, a lot of people will post out free plays and just throw out some bullshit game they lean to. I always post at least a VIP pick as a free play. Typically for college football and NFL, I'll give out obviously always give out my Thursday night and Monday night football play for free. So typically I'll give out a player prop and either a side or total for NFL Sunday as a free play. So I'll give 2 for NFL Sunday. And then for college football, I like to give out 2 games as well. And, if there's Friday night games, I give out a free play for that. So I like to drop a lot of free plays. I give out a free play every single day. And then I'm going to be running a lot of other stuff. I'm going to be dropping tons. I'm pretty much going to give out all my NFL futures for free across my social media and videos every single day. And I'll still be pumping out content for tons of other stuff, trends, all types of stuff to watch. So I'm going to help stuff you should be looking for, and I'm going to give you picks.
All right, so NFL futures. Let's hear one right now. Give us a free play.
All right, so future I just laid down. I think it was plus 1,300. Nico Collins receiving yards leader.
Wow.
When I look at this Texans team, I think they're really going to air it out a lot. I don't necessarily love their other wide receivers because, Tank Dell's out. They don't have Diggs anymore. But Nico Collins came on strong as a wagon in this offense, no matter who's guarding him. And I think Jaden Higgins and Christian Kirk can be solid 2 and 3 to him. So I think Stroud's going to get back to – I feel like Stroud had the sophomore slump, and it's time for him to make the comeback. So I think Nico Collins is going to go insane. And then just a little bonus, because that's like a big underdog play. I absolutely love Marvin Harrison Jr. to go over 950.5 receiving yards this season. He didn't break 1,000 last year, but I feel like they learned a little bit more how to use him as the season went on. And Trey McBride, one of the best tight ends, if not the best tight end in the NFL at this point in time, I think that him paired with Kyler Murray, who's another season removed from his injury, I think he's just going to have a massive year. I don't see how he doesn't go over 1,000 yards receiving.
Side note, but still on topic. Did you see Marvin Harrison Jr.'s like comparison picks from last year to this year?
I haven't.
Yeah.
Dude, it's nuts. You can't tell me that that's natural. By the way, bro's taking something. Whether it's showing up
right
in a urine test or not, bro. Simon, he put on like it looks like 25 pounds of muscle, bro. He's not the same person at all. Look at his rookie pick and look at the pick from this year from Media Day or whatever. It's disgusting. But I agree. I think he's gonna go off. Do you have any big plans for upcoming football season or anything? Are you going to any big games, Vegas, anything?
Yeah, so week 2 of NFL season, I got to go out to Vegas for a bachelor party, and then the Chargers play the Raiders on Monday Night Football. So I think I'm just going to stay out there for a little while.
Is that at Allegiant?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 10 o'clock start, I think, or it's the Eastern start.
It's a 10 o'clock start. So it'll be 7 o'clock Vegas time. So I'm just going to stay out there, go to the game, and hang out there for a little bit. So my cousin, her husband, they just got married. Me and him got to plan it out fully, but his family actually has Packers season tickets and a house out in Lambeau. So I'm thinking we're going to Lambeau at some point this season.
Hell yeah. I went
to him about that.
I went for the first time last year. Unbelievable. I'm doing a little stadium tour. I'm gonna hit like 16 of the 32. So I'm gonna hit KC and Houston this year are the two. So quick trips there. But Thomas, any last parting words for the people?
No, just looking forward to this NFL season, guys. Hopefully we can cash some bets together, college football as well, and finish off this MLB season. But I really appreciate you guys having me on the podcast. It's a great time coming on here and just talking sports and just talking shop with you guys. Y'all got a great thing going, and I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to, hopefully working with y'all again in the future.
Yes, sir. And if there's where can the people find you? TP3 bets across the board?
TP3 bets on X and on Instagram, and then I actually got banned on TikTok on my TP3 bets account, so now it's TP3 Sports on TikTok.
Yeah, they're the worst. Screw TikTok. But Thomas, it's been a pleasure, brother. Good to finally have you on the show. Thanks for coming on, and we'll definitely catch up soon. I might tell you on that Nico Collins future there.
Hey, love it. Hopefully I'll be back on here to talk about how we cashed.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, brother.
Later,
all right, bro. Have a good rest of your day.
See you guys. You too.
Nico Collins over yards. Not over yards. Leading receiving yards.
Didn't even say good guy.
What am I going to do?
Thomas is a good guy.
Yeah, he is a great guy, but I'm going to do the same thing every time we hang up on somebody.
Yeah, I mean, the one guy, Chad, you really liked his looks. So
Thomas is handsome, too.
Oh,
Thomas is pretty fucking handsome. Good-looking guy, Ben. Ben knows it, too. You can see it, Ben. I know. It's not gay. It's okay. It's not gay. $20 is $20.
All right. Well, you missed the last week with the over/under win totals, so we're gonna get back to that.
What am I gonna do? Do you know how much sleep I lost over that, Simon?
You know what Shane Gillis you've been watching?
A lot.
Yeah, he's funny.
Shout out Tires.
Shout out Tires. Shout out Shane Gillis on the ESPYs. All right, so we're gonna go back to the win totals. We'll see how much limited knowledge you have of the NFL. I put some notes in there for you. Maybe that'll be helpful. So Ben, we're doing minutes on the clock here. Over/under segment back again, guys. All right, Jaguars over/under 7.5. I am going.
Jaguars. Ben, put a minute on the clock there, man, and let's keep it going, guys.
All right, Jaguars. You're not going to get much love here, thanks to Mons. Over/under 7.5. We're going to go under. Yes, they got Brian Thomas, and they got Travis Hunter, flashy offensive players, but. I'm very concerned about their O-line. I like what they did in the offseason regarding their defensive line. And then first-year head coach in Liam Cohen. So I know their division's pretty crappy, but I'm going to go Jacksonville Jaguars. Trend under, guys, with your win totals overall. So Jaguars, I think they get 6 or 7 wins.
Trevor Lawrence does nothing for you.
I mean, what did he do last year?
Yeah, but it was 2 years ago that he had a really good year, right? Or was that?
Yeah, they had like 10 wins, 9 wins.
So again, I'm asking, Trevor Lawrence does nothing for you.
No.
All right, I'm gonna take the over there because I think that they get at least 3 or 4 wins within division.
Yeah, the division.
So then I'm asking them to get either 4 or 5.
The division is bad.
Exactly.
Yeah, they could get 3.
So I think they get at least 3 or 4 within their own division, and then I'm asking them to get either 5 or 4 on their own outside of the division, which I do think Trevor can will them to 2 to 3. And then what? They got to squeak out 1 or 2.
Well, I mean, Liam Cohen's a good offensive coach, and then he also went Duval, the weird fucking. He's kind of weird. Pretty smart
Well,
guy.
you're super normal. So.
But yeah, I think I'm cooler than Liam. I mean, Liam Cohen. Ben saw the video of Liam Cohen going Duval. I could have said it cooler than him.
No,
Should get out the chain, the choker.
Ben's losing it.
It's so small.
What are you laughing about?
I'm fired today, man. You're
I'm
on
ready to
fire.
go. It's been a few weeks.
He's back. All right, next.
All right, and the next one, we're going to do Vikings, 9.5. Simon, take it over.
I love that we have someone else in the room now, and he's not laughing at any of this. I don't see any laughs over there. All right, we'll get the minute back on the clock.
It's on.
Vikings 9.5. Yes, they're getting their tackle Christian Darrisaw back. Defense was awesome last year. Obviously, they had a great year in terms of the win total, but I think from Darnold to McCarthy is going to be a big downgrade there. I know that's like 5 wins of a downgrade, but the division's tough. The Bears beefed up their O-line, and I think the Vikings sit around 8 or 9 wins. So again, with the over-unders, going to trend under here. I just don't trust the quarterback enough. I haven't seen anything from him coming off a major injury. Yes, he won in college in that system, but this division I think is going to be a shell shock for him. So under 9.5 for the Vikings and JJ McCarthy.
Ben, can we take a moment to start that when we were getting into the segment of the over-unders? He goes, yeah, your limited knowledge of the NFL. I gave you some notes, and he just read his own notes verbatim on his laptop while giving the Vikings points. Because I'm the one that needs the notes, not him.
Well, let's see if you know anything about the Vikings outside of Justin Jefferson.
No, because it's not even August. Justin Jefferson, they got Addison. They're going to be fine. I still think, what is it at, 9.5? Yeah, 10's a lot for
I mean,
for a
you take
first-year
into account the
quarterback.
division.
10's a lot for that division and a first-year quarterback. I agree with you there. So
And I think the
match
Bears
you
are
with
going to be
the,
better.
I mean, I just want the Bears to be good so that way the Packers, get some flack.
All right. Well, the next one I think is pretty easy. We'll make it a little more sexy here. Las Vegas Raiders over under 6.5. Love Pete Carroll edition. That division's loaded with Hall of Fame coaches there.
Who they got now? Gino,
yeah, and they got Ashton Genty.
Brock.
Obviously. 6.5. I think the Raiders get 7 or 8 wins. I think they win 2 to 3 in their division. And Gino and Pete Carroll, obviously they have that chemistry already. I think Genty breaks out. Bowers is, the number 1 receiving tight end in the league already, and he was a rookie last year. And they got their O-line, they have one of the best left tackles in Colton Miller. So I think the Raiders get 7 or 8 wins. I'm going to go over here. And yeah, I don't know what you're looking at.
What was that?
I don't know, a hiccup maybe?
Jesus Christ.
This is why he's fucking up my flow this week, Ben. Fucking asshole.
You're just in the middle of speaking. You just had
All right. Raiders
hard
over
reset.
under.
Like you cold started your fucking system. Like,
all right. Raiders.
pull the choke on it.
All right.
Who's their wide receiver 1?
Dog shit.
You can't even name it. It's not Jacoby Myers, is it?
I feel like they got a receiver.
Because that will determine their wide receiver 1 will definitely be a big determining factor.
Well, you already know their wide receiver 1. It's Brock Bowers.
Well, okay, no, literally on the depth chart, wide receiver 1, not tight end.
Jacoby Myers.
Is it?
Yeah, and then Trey Tucker.
Yeah.
Man, this is tough.
That's a rough receiving core.
They still got Max Crosby. I forgot about Max Crosby.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, and I think you and I can probably only name 2 people, or 1 person.
The other problem with the Raiders, I didn't even mention this, is the Raiders don't have a home field advantage. They get all the fans from the opposing
they have
teams
absolutely
there.
no home field advantage.
And the division has 3 Hall of Famers. So I'm still going to go over, but they're not a playoff team or anything to me. I just think that they because of the coaching and because of the quarterback improvement there, and we'll see how they're drafted. But you still got, Max Crosby on defense. Their left tackle.
Only Raiders defensive player that you and I can name. Be honest.
I'm looking at the rest of it. No, Christian Wilkins.
If you're looking, it doesn't count.
No, I'm just looking at Chin. Yeah, there's
Fucking guy.
All right. We're moving on. We're moving on to the next team here. I already know what you're going to say for this one. I think.
No, I'm going to surprise you. I will. As much as I can't stand them, they ruined my childhood. I think they're gonna.
I didn't even say the team.
Well, people should know. Giants 5.5 wins. I think they get 6. I do.
What?
Yeah.
In that division?
Yeah.
I don't even need to look at the camera. We can debate.
Because I think
no.
I think they're gonna at least win 2 in the division. I think they at least win 2. Don't know who it's against. Maybe 1 Commanders, 1 Cowboys. Maybe one Eagles, one Commanders.
They play the Eagles week 6 and 8. They got road games at Washington and Dallas. They play the Chiefs and Chargers,
I
and then
think
Denver.
they win at least 2.
They play the West. That's a tough division.
It is.
We just went over this.
Thank you.
Do you think Russ is starting the whole year?
No, I think they'll probably. Well, I think that'll honestly depend on the win total type of thing. I think if the Giants are doing that poorly and they're going to go under, the win total, I'll be wrong on this, and I think they'll bring in Dart. But I mean, I even saw, what report was it that they're having Dart take first team reps in camp?
Russ will start the year, I believe.
You would imagine,
Yeah.
or Winston, one of the two.
I mean, to be honest, probably the best thing I like about him is 1, watching Neighbors, and 2, Neighbors in fantasy this year.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they have pieces. That's why I very easily.
No, their defensive line is incredible, but the O line definitely needs some work, and I'm big into that. And the division's tough. I mean, we did Dallas, I think, last week when you weren't here, but Dallas, I mean, they got Dak back, so the Giants have the worst quarterback in that division by far.
Yes. And I still think I think they get 2 in division, at least 2 in division.
All right, so you're seeing some Giants upsets.
Go Giants.
Thanks, Ben.
Fucking suck.
Next team, they won the Super Bowl last year. Philadelphia Eagles.
You skipped the chart.
I know. I'm going to go back to them because we're already on the NFC East.
Oh shit! Now I fucked it all up.
Eagles over under 11.5. As you can see here from this list, Matt, they lost a lot of people from defense, but I mean they do draft well and replace them. But then after the opener, Dallas it's the division game. They got Chiefs, Rams, Bucks, Broncos, and then Giants, which is a division game. You think the Giants are going to be okay in the division, and then Vikings. So
okay, getting 2 wins in division is not okay.
2 and 4 is okay.
That's awful.
No. Eagles, I hate the Eagles. Ben knows everyone knows I hate the Eagles. So I had to shave my head because of it. Do I think they win the division? Yes. Do I think they go under 11.5 at 10 or 11? Yes. I think the Commanders will be right there with them to come down on the wire.
You don't think any Jaden Daniels regression?
There'll be some regression, but they made some very nice moves in the offseason. There's always regression in the second year. I mean, people got tape on.
I mean, look at the moves that the Texans made going.
But I just said Eagles will have 11 wins or 10 wins. So I think the Commanders will be right there around 9, 10, 11. It'll be a tight race. And, with your Giants convincing that they're going to be mediocre, whatever.
Yeah, Simon, I think they get 6 wins. That's not good in the.
So you think they beat either the Commanders or the Eagles?
I wouldn't be surprised if they beat one of the 2 of them.
All right. I'll remember that. All right, last over-unders. I know you're sick of this already.
Probably the worst segment you've ever thought of.
Why? The video's been doing well.
Being a dick, Simon.
Ben's. Oh man, Ben, he's got me thrown off. Chargers over under 9.5. Do I have to answer this one? I don't really have an answer.
Well, then why would you put it on the dot?
I want to hear what you think.
All right, Chargers, I'm going to take the over. I mean, Christ, this dude builds his own show and doesn't have an answer for his own fucking show. Holy shit.
It's fucking July.
So then why are we doing it? No, I think the Chargers can squeak out 10 between Harbaugh and between Herbert. Oh, McConkey, that fucker.
Herbert was terrible in that playoff game, if you recall.
I do, but I think they get 10.
They brought back Mike Williams, but they lost Bosa. Yeah. Bosa's on the Bills. But Harbaugh's gonna, they got Najee Harris, which is gonna be an interesting.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued by that move.
They like to run the ball. They're a big run team. Their defense was excellent last year. Tough division. Yeah, I think they'll. I mean, people are saying the Chiefs are going to regress, which I kind of agree with.
I think I could see a world where the Chargers sweep the Chiefs this year in the division. I could. Even going into Arrowhead.
Opening game in Brazil that Friday is going to be.
I fucking hate when they do that stuff.
So weird, the Brazil games.
And whose home game is that?
I don't even know.
But whoever it is, they get fucked. They lose a home game. If that's a Chiefs home game, that's huge because Arrowhead.
The Chiefs are going to travel fans.
They travel.
It'll be louder. There's no Chargers fans and not real fans.
Yeah, obviously.
All right. Well, we got a few more things here. I don't know. I feel like you're ready to go back to Jersey right now. NFL quarterback rankings came out. Did you see them?
No.
Okay. Well, the ESPN ranked them. It was Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, Jaden Daniels at number 5 already.
It's too high.
Stafford at 6, Herbert 7, Goff 8, Hurts 9, Mayfield 10. Which one do you not like on this? Daniels?
Daniels is too high and Hurts is too low.
9 for Hurts?
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
I understand like the people. What
How is Herbert above him?
Yeah, what's this? What word am I looking for here?
Ranking?
No, the blank people are going to say about Hurts.
That he doesn't throw the ball downfield.
The whatever.
Team is
The
stacked.
drawback. The drawback to why people are going to defend him being at 9 is the team is stacked and you can plug and play any quarterback in that roster and they succeed. I disagree. I think Hurts is a perfect fit for that roster.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he is doing so.
I don't think the coach is that great still there. I got to give Hurts a lot of credit.
You've always hated Sirianni.
Yeah, but I'm going to give Hurts more credit here. I agree. Hurts should be up the rankings. Daniels at 5 already is
That's too high.
little insane to me. Stafford at 6. I mean, playoff great quarterback, but regular season he's definitely dipped a bit there. Goff's been really good.
No,
Been to a Super
I
Bowl.
don't mind
I'd
that.
put Goff above Herbert. Mahomes 1, yes. Allen, Burrow, Lamar. I mean, you could switch out Lamar and
You
Burrow.
could switch out any of the, in my opinion, 2 through 4, and it would still be a right list. Like I could see an argument
Yeah.
for Lamar, Burrow, or Josh Allen being the second best quarterback in the league, and I agree.
Burrow's been to a Super Bowl. Those other two gotta get there. Hopefully, the AFC is loaded with that top tier, and then Stafford. That's going to be interesting. We're going to talk about that here in a second. And Mayfield coming in at number 10.
I love that. Huge Baker guy.
Yeah,
Huge Baker. He's just a dude.
yeah.
Like he might be the biggest person in the NFL that I just want to go get a beer with.
Baker. Wow.
Might be.
Yeah, he's a
Or like an O lineman.
Yeah, the old lineman can fucking David Bakhtiari on my Packers. He used to booze at the Bucks games and stuff. No, it's a pretty solid list. I mean, some guys are in. Anybody in there that's missing, like CJ Stroud or
No. Well, I mean, maybe there is, but definitely not Stroud. He's not a top 10 quarterback in the league. Not after last season. Jaden Daniels isn't, but Stroud shouldn't.
Dak, not top 10.
If he's healthy-ish.
You think Baker's better than Dak?
I need a quarterback to lead my team down the field for a game-winning drive. I'm going to take Baker.
All right, that's fair. Baker's been pretty clutch there. So, kind of going off that, comparing wide receiver groups. So, I looked at the top 10 wide receiver groups. You know all these from fantasy and just watching last year. Rams with Puka Nacua and Devontae, and then versus the Detroit Lions, Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra. What do you think? Just the receivers, not tight ends. We're talking. Who would you take?
I gotta go Lions just because I feel like we're due for some Adams regression.
Wow.
I mean, he's older, and this is his fourth quarterback in 3 years, I think, right? And this is his fourth team in 3 years?
He's not going to be the number. Well, he wasn't the number 1 last year with Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
He was the number 2.
I don't know. I would still take.
It's
the Lions,
close.
I think it is.
I'm gonna go Rams.
Definitely some Packers bias in there.
No, I just think if those two match up in the playoffs, which is definitely possible, right? Those are two of the top teams in the NFC. I just trust Devontae to make a big play more, so I'm going to take them. And then Nakua's just been
Puka's a beast.
Unbelievable. Williams is a beast. I mean, Amon-Ra I love, but Williams is a down the field deep threat guy. So if I had to add the tight end into the mix here, I would say the Lions, obviously, Laporta. So I'll go Rams there for receivers. The next one we just talked about these two teams, so this is a great one here. Cowboys with George Pickens and CD, or the Bucks with Godwin, Evans, and then they drafted the kid at Buku, whatever the hell his name is, from Ohio State.
Well, I'm not going to take. Is Godwin even going to be healthy this year?
I'm not sure what the injury status is, but he's back.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
He had a very serious injury, either midway or late in last season. Because I mean, that's obviously going to.
He's just sitting out to begin training camp.
All right.
I think he's.
It's weird because George Pickens, yes, he's made great plays, but and he hasn't had the best quarterback situation, so it's unfair to say this, but he definitely hasn't been. He's not a household name in the receiving core groups yet. Not even close, in my opinion. George Pickens, I'm saying. but CD definitely is. He's a beast. Yeah. I'll give it to the Cowboys.
I'm going to give it to the Cowboys as well. I think CD in that offense, Dak's going to air it out. Their running backs are absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
And he's opposite CD, so like, the attention there. The Bucks are, Mike Evans is a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Hall of Famer, easy.
I just think they're more ascending while the Bucks receivers are just getting older. So right now, I would say, obviously all time, you got to go Bucks here, but I'm going to go Cowboys. And then the last one, Eagles with Devontae Smith and AJ. And then Vikings, you got Justin Jefferson and Addison.
This is so tough.
It's because you have the superstar.
Yeah, you have two you have two like 1As.
Yeah.
On the Eagles, and then you just have who, if he keeps tracking, will be a Hall of Fame wide receiver, and one of those that you put up there with Rice.
Is he better than Chase? You think?
Yeah. If I'm picking a wide receiver,
you know what? I didn't even put a wide receiver group in here because I thought they were the bona fide one. The Bengals.
Really?
Yeah, I thought they were one by far.
I guess yeah. If you're taking both into account, it's the Bengals.
Yeah.
It's so hard to not overvalue Jefferson here, because he's an immediate.
I feel like we also gotta think of just Addison's gonna maybe pop a little bit more, and
he already has. But
yeah. But I'm saying like we know what JJ is.
I gotta go. I'm not fading JJ here.
All right, that's fair. I'm gonna. I can't do anything Eagles. I'm so anti. They do have great receivers though, and
amazing receivers.
And then the tight end position there is interesting too because you got Goddard and then Hawkinson, so both stacked offensively.
Yeah.
But again, we'll see what McCarthy can do getting them the ball. Can he just be accurate and throw the ball in the vicinity of JJ and just go up there? Great Madden player. Just love JJ. I would love to see him and Jamar Chase play in the NFL together. That'd be fucking crazy. But obviously, no team could afford that. So we talked about this in the car. We'll see if you actually have an answer for this now. We're going to do our podium picks segment thanks to our intern, Lindsay.
Shout out Lindsay.
Yeah, shout out Lindsay. But Matt, we'll put you on the clock here. Top 3 favorite sports logos.
All time or current?
All time, yeah.
All right, they're going to be 3 throwbacks then. Off the rip, my number one, bias included for sure, is going to be Pat Patriot, the old school New England Patriots logo. The best logo I've ever seen, the best uniforms, those reds that they wear with that are sick. Old school Toronto Raptors with the actual raptor on it. That's a sick one. There's some sick like Vince Carter era jerseys that come from that logo. So love that. And then honestly, you know what? I'm 90% sure. I think it's the Memphis Grizzlies. They have a sick throwback logo. And I will talk to whoever edits this about trying to put it on the screen and get the right one that I'm talking about. But it's tough as fuck, and you'll know it the moment you see it. So I'm going to go with Pat Patriot, old school Raptors, old school Grizzlies.
This one?
Yeah. Show it. Turb, show your screen.
Grizzlies.
Yeah. No, that one's tough.
That one's tough. Sick. I know Ben likes that one there. We should
go for it though. What about you?
I'm looking up some because I'm not as well versed. Honestly, I used to be a big NBA guy, so the first one, Utah Jazz, their old logo. But honestly, my favorite one, and I forgot about this one from like all the NBA games I used to play, video games wise, the Spurs. You seen this one, Matt?
I have not. Why have they not made any colors?
Yeah, that one's sick. I did like the old Raptors one. NHL, I don't. Hadn't seen too much. I'm trying to look through some baseball ones for the third one here. These are some weird ones. And then I'm trying to think of current logos that I like. Oh, this is the one. NBA, dude, just fucking kills it.
Yeah, they killed it.
Detroit, it's actually the Pistons.
It's really depressing to see how the quality of logo has gone down.
Yeah. But yeah, what?
You just dropped your phone. You had a Jewish little moment there.
Oh, it fell in the chair.
Okay, good.
Let's put the Jewish.
You got the OtterBox on there. That thing's fucking a brick, so nothing's gonna break.
We got another Jew event this week. Love it.
We're gonna find our wife.
But
Shabbat Shalom.
Yes, it'll be on Friday. But logos will be interesting. That's what we're kind of talking about this time of year. But just wanted to end on this. Matt, we got people coming up for football season. They're what do you say to the people that are only betting on one book?
Bet more. On other books. Bet on more books.
So they're fucking idiots if they're betting on one.
Yeah, you're not getting the best value. Line shot. Simple.
What are some books like? What's with these minus 110 teasers? You're always talking about it. Why are people taking minus 130 teasers? Because it's on DraftKings. Oh, fucking.
Because it's the only book they use. They're not smart. They don't line shop or they don't look for the.
They're
best
lazy.
value. Yeah,
That's fucked.
it's a very easy word. Lazy. Great way to put it all.
We don't want people to be lazy here. But any parting words for the people? I know you're going to be away again next week.
Yep.
Any words for the people? This was a more difficult show for me than last week. I'm not gonna lie.
Sorry. It's because I was back.
Yeah, I know it was tough.
Sorry.
But hey, we're in the Packers pride here. Shout out Ben, podcast junkies here, and Victor. Yeah. Great episode today, Thomas. Thank you for coming on. You can follow us, Make Vegas Pay, on all of our socials here, and we'll see you in 2 weeks when Mons is back with another special guest. Thank you.